Welcome back to the Face to Face podcast. We focus on a lot of business issues, highlighting a lot of local small businesses here in town. And our friend John McClellan from Supreme Lending, well, he's an entrepreneur. He's been involved in all kinds of things, especially hot sauce lately. Tell us about it, John.
Well, even prior to the mortgage business, and I've been doing that almost 30 years, I like to cook. I love my time in the kitchen. I can work a 12-hour day and go home and cook for 3 hours and feel happy about it. And I've always made hot sauce and salsa and barbecue sauce. And back in the mid-2019, around September, the Texas legislators changed the rules for the cottage industry. Cottage industry is like people want to bake at home and sell in farmers markets, things like that, as long as your sales are under $50,000. And, well, they changed the rule to add acidified food to the list of acceptable cottage industries. I'm like, well, just start a little thing on the side with my kids, and we'll start making some hot sauce and make a silly little label and put it on there. Maybe get a logo together. Yeah. Well, what we didn't know what was going to happen was COVID.
Yeah.
So, my office is typically filled with, 30 or 40 people, and I'm walking around during the day. I always tell people my job in the mortgage business is 30 minutes of chaos followed by 30 minutes of sheer boredom. And that sheer boredom time at the office I would use to walk around, motivate people, train people, talk to people and what's going on. Well, as we all know, in March of 2020, everybody went home. And a lot of them are still there, I think.
Yes.
And then so March of 2020, I was at the house, and I had to have that 30 minutes of chaos followed by 30 minutes of sheer boredom with nobody to talk to.
Right.
And nothing to do. So I'm like, well, that 30 minutes, I'll focus a little bit more on the hot sauce. And we'll start a YouTube channel. Which is ATX Hot Sauce on YouTube. I have 18,000 subscribers to it now.
Already? That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, a couple of the videos are up to like 250, 300,000 views. Yeah. And on the YouTube channel, I show everybody how to make my hot sauce, all 11 flavors and different recipes that go with it. And people are like, "Why are you telling them a recipe?" I'm like, "It's a fermented hot sauce. It's a little bit more. If they want to do it, that's fine and dandy. But most of the time, they're going to watch it and they go, now I'm going to buy some."
Right.
So we have a lot of sales off the internet, especially because of YouTube.
What's it like? What's your sales been like?
Well, we got into the airport about a year ago, the Austin airport.
That's great.
That really jumped it up.
What was the process to begin this company?
Starting a company and running, it's interesting because you have to trademark things, register them. You have to get an LLC put together. There's all kinds of costs and just due diligence you have to do. And like our first couple batches, we had to send it off to a couple of different labs around the state to check on the shelf stability. So our hot sauce is not a cooked hot sauces. Most hot sauces are actually cooked, and they have a lot of vinegar. In fact, if you look at most hot sauces on the bottle, the first ingredient is vinegar. We all know the first ingredient means it's the main ingredient, right? I think that covers up the fruits and vegetables, the flavor of them. So what we do is a fermented hot sauce, and the fermentation adds natural acidity and gives it shelf stability for up to 18 months without being opened. So, going through that whole process, learning about all the science of it so I can sell it to people safely.
Right.
Our sales have well surpassed that $50,000 a year on the cottage industry. So we actually have a commercial kitchen actually pretty close to the studio here, which I have some people that work for me that do all that. And
have you done this before? Did you know what you were getting into?
What do you mean?
Like start this kind of small little business involving food, edible products?
Well, I've always invested in real estate and done that. So I've had other companies and LLCs for certain real estate ventures that I do. So that process I knew. But the food and beverage industry is very interesting. And before I got in the mortgage business 30 years ago, I actually was in the bar business and restaurant business.
All right. So you had some experience.
I did have some experience. Yeah. I was in it for 10 years. In fact, I worked at a place called Pearl's Oyster Bar.
Absolutely.
183. In fact, I was wearing my
been there many times.
I was wearing my Local Licks Live T-shirt the other day from 1991.
Yep.
So I have some previous experience doing that. And it's just a love of learning, I think. And just doing something else.
And there. So young in the business as far as the product and in the airport, that's a big deal.
Yeah,
I bet this box is sitting on clients' desk all over the country.
It is. We have big time sales at the Austin airport. In fact, we just picked up Houston Hobby, George Bush, Corpus Christi, San Antonio, El Paso airports too.
Wow.
So there's a total of 17 stores in those different ones that we just picked up about 2 months ago. Sales are doing well. We've won multiple awards at the Austin Chronicles Hot Sauce Festival over the years. One of our products won the Fiery Foods competition, second place in Dallas last summer. We've won the Elgin Hot Sauce Hootenanny out in Elgin
That's
about a year
great.
about a year and a half ago. So it goes over. It's been going over really, really well with the people out there. A lot of hot sauces they want to blow your head off, right?
Right.
And I'm like, that's like 0.5% of the population. And from being in my background, finance, I'm like, that's not who I want to sell to. I want to sell to the 99%.
That's a novelty hot sauce.
That's right.
That's a gag gift.
Right.
Yeah.
So none of ours are. In fact, we have one called the Texas Reaper. It's spicy, but it's not blow your head off. You actually get to taste the fruits, the vegetables, and things that are in it. Like one of the ones I gave you today it's called the Big Red. It has red Fresnos in it, and clove and plums and beets in it. And it's just a very mild, good flavored hot sauce.
ATXHotSauce.com.
That's exactly
They can order from there?
That's it. That's our website.
And have it shipped everywhere over the world?
Anywhere on the world. Now, if you go overseas, it costs a little bit for shipping.
Sure. Yeah. What's this box of 4 bottles? What are these? 6 ounce bottles, maybe?
5 ounce.
5 ounce.
5 ounce.
What's a box of 4 choices here?
Box of 4 is $42.
That's not bad.
With the box, shipping, and everything.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. And then we sell the bottles depending on. We have a hatch chili one that's super mild. That goes for about $8 or $9 up to. We have like our Texas Reaper is $12 a bottle online. And the reason it's a little bit more expensive is we actually source our super hot peppers locally here from a place in Wimberley called Hill Country Hot Peppers. And these guys, Ron, that runs the place out there, is fantastic, just like a mad scientist, though.
Every smart man has his go-to dish that he makes at home. What's your go-to dish that you're good at making that includes one of these hot sauces?
Probably my stuffed poblanos.
Okay. Let's hear about it. What do you do?
Okay, take fresh poblanos, roast them, get a little bit of the skin off. You got to char them on the outside. Then I get pulled chicken from like a rotisserie chicken or whatever you want.
Yep.
Cut up a bunch of broccoli. Throw in a bunch of what we call the big green there, which is a jalapeno tomatillo hot sauce. Throw that in there with it with a little bit of nuts and bake it with some cheese and pecans on top of it.
It sounds like a cooking show in the making right
and
here.
that's actually, that recipe's on our YouTube channel too, how to make that.
Did you expect it to get this big so fast?
I did not. One of the things that we were very lucky was with the logo and the name. Obviously, ATX Hot Sauce, when I went and first looked it up on the site, I'm like, that's available?
That's available?
I'm like, I'll take that.
Yeah.
And ATX Salsas is available. I'm like, I'll take that one too. And so yeah, just I think the logo really pops when it's on the shelf.
Looks good.
The ATX aspect of it, especially in the local stores and the airport, that's something that stands out. And a lot of people are like, I forgot little Bobby's gift. Let's get little Bobby some hot sauce.
It sounds difficult to get in the airport. It's probably more difficult to get in HEB.
It is, and I would,
shelf space is a premium and tough to get.
Yeah, and margins and everything else, and there's some competition there. There's a couple other great hot sauce companies in town too. And to be honest with you, we are ramping up for something like HEB or Whole Foods. But it's if we got that gig today, I might have to quit the mortgage business because it'd be a lot of time to be put and effort put into it. Which I'm not going to quit the mortgage business because ATX is doing great. I love it. But it's the thing I get to do with my kids and my family, and it's just it's a fun side thing. I still love my mortgage business too. That's important to me.
It would be a great problem for that to happen, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well,
to get so big, it pulls you away.
My fiance tells me, she goes, "You just never sit down. You're just always." Because I'm like,
I know a lot of people like that. I know a lot of business owners. Bobby Jenkins, you got Darren Spahn, all great business owners. You can't stop them.
Yeah, it's
in your it's in your DNA.
Fun. Everybody's like, when are you going to retire? Because I'm 57 now. I'm like, why would I?
Why would
win?
You? What would you do?
Ever, never. I remember my grandfather lived to be 102 and was mowing his lawn actually when he had a heat stroke and died at 102. But he's still mowing his lawn, and he was an insurance agent up until he was 85 years old. Because very together. My grandmother was a travel agent for seniors up until she was 90 years old. So they kind of taught me this work ethic, just keep moving forward, keep busy with yourself. Because I think if you don't, if you just sit around the house all day and sheer boredom, you're going to go a little crazy.
Yeah. What's the website?
ATXHotSauce.com, ATXHotSauce.com. Also on our YouTube is ATX Hot Sauce.